Saturday will mark 1 year since 26-year-old Breonna Taylor was fatally shot 8 times by members of the Louisville Metro Police Department during a botched drugs raid on her home. Our North America correspondent Noel Phillips has spoken exclusively to Breonna's mother and sister. He joins me now live from Louisville. Good morning to you, Noel. I know you spent some time talking to the family. Hugely frustrating for them. I mean, it's a heartbreaking thing to have happened, and they're still fighting for justice.
That's right, but the fight isn't just this family's own. This is a fight which consists of most people here in Louisville. Breonna Taylor's death has really touched the hearts of many Americans, especially black people in this country who see what happened to Breonna Taylor as great injustice. And what we're expecting in the next 24 hours are possibly hundreds of thousands of people taken to the streets. We saw last summer the biggest civil rights protest since the 1960s, people chanting the name of Breonna Taylor and George Floyd. I just want to tell you a little bit about Breonna Taylor's sister, her younger sister, Joanna. She lived with Breonna Taylor at her apartment, which is not too far from where I'm standing. And on the night that Breonna Taylor was killed, she happened to be away from that apartment. And for her family, and for her especially, she's still trying to come to terms with the grief, with the ordeal of losing her sister in such a brutal way.
Listening to some of the body cams and just listening, I just felt like you all treated her very disrespectfully. You didn't treat her with no type of respect at all. Y'all thought it was a joke. It's not a joke. You took somebody's life and thought it was all games. And if you knew Breonna personally, her house was clean. And just to see it dirty, knowing that everything is not where it's supposed to be, things are moved, there's bullet holes and everything. It's just like, wow.
So it's obviously such a shock for Breonna's sister to come to terms with. What about her mother as well? How's she been today dealing with the loss of her daughter?
Charlotte, it's worth just trying to put into context just how tragic this case is. A report found just months ago that 30 shots were fired by police into Breonna's apartment. And you heard from the sister there just talking about the fact that there were gunshots in the kitchen drawers, in the beds and the pillows. For Breonna's mom, she feels a sense of guilt that she weren't there for her daughter in her final moments. And for any parent, it was the worst nightmare, burying her own daughter as well.
I'm sorry she was treated this way. I'm sorry. We wasn't there. I'm sorry. Justice hasn't been served. I would have much rather been there than home, because at least I know that someone would have attempted to help her. You got one job to protect your child, and the one time that they need you, you're not even there. It takes your breath away.
Well, it's understandably still so emotional, so raw for the family. Looking ahead, it's the anniversary this weekend, isn't it? What are they planning to mark this?
So we heard from organisers who were actually here in Jefferson Square Park earlier today giving a press conference. They described a protest across America from New York to Los Angeles. They said those protests will be large and powerful and louder than ever before. They say the protest, the essence of those protests is to re-galvanize people and to essentially try and get justice, try and get accountability. The police officers who killed Breonna Taylor to be charged.
Like, I don't want people to treat this as if we're celebrating her, because we're not. It's 1 year later and we're still asking for the system to do the right thing. I've never seen something so black and white be so hard. Nobody willing to stand up and do what's right, or be the first person to do the right thing. And the disregard for Black lives and just is insane.
So for Breonna's mom there, she believes to be a black man or woman in America today, you are at risk of being killed, or at worst, to be brutally abused by the police. That, she says, is the reality. And she says unless Joe Biden, unless the politicians across America start to act and start to deliver justice to families who have lost their loved ones as a result of police brutality, nothing will change.